Back home, the moment people hear that you're moving abroad, they imagine that you're swimming in money. Of course, the rupee conversion makes a salary sound like you're some mini Mukesh Ambani. Of course, it's a bit of a stretch. But let's get this. One British pound today is approximately 120 rupees. But the truth is, you cannot buy even samosas with exchange rates. Today we'll explore whether life abroad truly makes you better off or just busier and a lot more broke in another currency. We'll break this down with real numbers and lived experience so that you can decide for yourself whether life abroad makes you wealthier. Of course, being wealthy can mean different things to different people. So today we are going to be talking purely on the money and financial aspect of wealth. Oh, if you haven't already, consider subscribing to join our varied conversations about money, meaning, and practical life strategies. So let's start with the obvious, salaries. The median salary in the UK is about £37,000 per annum for those in full-time employment. In rupees, that's close to 40 lakhs per annum. In India, the median annual pay is about 3.3 lakhs. So on paper, that's over a 10-fold difference. So this is where the rich NRI myth actually comes from. And this is where it usually ends. But we, you know us, we look beneath the surface. What looks like a jackpot when converted into Indian rupees doesn't actually feel that way when you're actually paying your bills in UK pounds. For perspective, a UK median salary means a comfortable but yet modest lifestyle, with daily expenses and housing taking up most of your budget, and you still find ways to cut corners where you can. So yes, salaries abroad can be higher, but that doesn't automatically mean mansions and Mercedes. Okay, just because the Tatas bought out Jaguar Land Rover doesn't mean every Indian who comes to the UK can afford one. Today's topic will not be complete if we don't talk about the silent killer in westernized countries. That's the taxes and cost of living. In the UK, you're looking at about 20 to 40% income tax that you don't even see hitting your bank account. Add to this, there is the national insurance contributions, there's council tax, and then, of course, your big expenses like housing, groceries, insurance, energy bills, etc. In India, you might argue that taxes are quite similar, but more exemptions are available. But costs sneak up slightly differently. Private healthcare and children's education being the main ones. The truth is, countries around the world are fairly united in the sense that they find a way to squeeze your wallet one way or the other. The difference is just in the categories of the expenses. Despite this is where the comparison gets interesting. In savings power. Data shows that UK households save about 9 to 10% of their income, according to the Office of National Statistics. In India, the number is closer to 5%, and this 5% is lower than it was 10 years ago, despite the fact that we are seeing the income potential increasing in India in a young and diverse country. So why do you think the UK gives you more room to save, especially if you are more disciplined? The only reason I can think of is the UK offers strong social safety nets, higher average incomes allowing for discretionary spending, and a culture that encourages a clear distinction between needs and wants. While housing costs can be a significant expense, factors like affordable public services, higher minimum wages, and accessible financial planning tools can create space for more saving compared to a country like India, where the needs to wants line is often very blurred and resources are more constrained. But here's the reality, folks. Especially for expats abroad, lifestyle creep can be real. We too miss the 1,000-something TV channels that were available in India. So we signed up to everything: Netflix, Amazon Prime, Disney+, gyms, holidays, etc. And suddenly our savings started looking thinner than the dosas that my wife makes. So yes, there is potential to save abroad, but do expats really save? Now that's a completely different question altogether. Talking about expenses, we all need somewhere to live. And in most cases, the biggest drain on the pocket is housing. In the UK, the median house price is about £280,000. In the London and the south of England, it's much higher. Now, if you want to rent, even in the Midlands, you're paying about £800 to £1,200 a month for a decent family accommodation. In London, this can be way over £2,000. In India, especially in cities like Bangalore or Mumbai or Gurgaon, a decent property will set you back 1 to 2 crores. Now, I'm just comparing apples here because I'm not talking about the high-end luxury apartments. When we talk about rentals, it's about 50 to 60,000 pounds in a decent area for a family of 4. When we first arrived in the UK, that was pre-Brexit and pre-COVID, we paid about 800 pounds for a modest 3-bedroom house. Now the same house is renting for over 1100 pounds a month. Now compare that with a high-end, all singing, all dancing 2000 square foot apartment in Gurgaon that my friend rents in an up-and-coming prime area. He pays about 60,000 rupees a month. Now of course, this is higher than the average, but the fact is, regardless of where you live in the world, housing eats up a big chunk of your earnings. But of course, my friends, real wealth is not measured by the size of the paycheck. It's measured by your ability to accumulate long-term wealth. In the UK, the full UK state pension currently is over 11,000 pounds per year and requires 35 years of national insurance contributions. Employer pension schemes, on the other hand, often have matched contributions of about 5 to 10%, and it's common in the UK and it's considered free money for retirement. This offers stability, ensuring your roti, kapda and makan is taken care of in old age. In India, there is no universal safety net like this. Families often rely on property, land and of course children to support them later in life. In our case, we came to the UK when I was almost 40. So even if I continue to work until my state pension age of 67 at the moment, I would only have contributed about 27 years into the system. So my state pension will be proportionately reduced, but I'll still be getting about 8,000 pounds an annum. Now this will not get me luxury, but it will go a long way in taking care of some of my needs. Of course, my wife will be getting a similar amount as well, slightly higher because she's younger. Now compare this with most family and friends in India. Pensions are usually self-managed, and it's the responsibility of the individual to secure their financial futures. So if you stick abroad long enough, the financial safety net is definitely much more robust, but only if you play the long game. And finally, my friends, let's discuss the biggest illusion, the illusion of perception. Back in India, when people hear your UK salary, they immediately convert it to rupees and assume that all NRIs are crorepati's. Yes, earning 1 crore rupees per year in the UK, especially if you're an experienced professional with niche skills in certain high-demand industries, is not unusual at all. But in reality, you're budgeting for bills just like anyone else in the UK, and the more you earn, the more you pay in tax as well. For expats like us, who have family and friends in India, one annual trip to India can set us back by 5 to 6 lakh rupees, sometimes even 10. Because, of course, we justify it to ourselves saying that we are starving ourselves for 11 months in the UK, we land in India and suddenly behave like Ambani's cousin in a shopping mall, further fueling the perception. So, yes, it takes a lot of planning and financial education to accumulate wealth wherever you are in the world. Larger pay packets don't necessarily mean being rich. All said and done, we would be lying if we said that we are worse off here than we would have been in India. That defeats the entire purpose of making these sacrifices, isn't it? But rich, that is entirely subjective. It depends on how you define wealth. Is it money, family, lifestyle, or peace of mind? So my friends, are expats really better off financially? If you ask me, I'd say it depends. Salaries might look higher abroad, but with taxes, housing, and lifestyle costs, it's not always as glamorous as it looks. The real question is, what matters more to you? I'd love to hear your thoughts. Are expats really rich, or just rich in WhatsApp forwards and Instagram reels? Drop your thoughts below, and I'd love to hear your stories. And if you found me making an honest effort to tell things as they are, don't forget to subscribe to the Global Desis and share with those you think will enjoy such content. We talk about the real side of life, not the Instagram version. See you in the next one.